It's good day, good evening, and welcome to the most dysfunctional news channel around.
It's Fox News.
Yeah, welcome to the Irish version of Fox News. That's it. Yeah, welcome to Dermot and Phillip's political till we die. We're not like other professional news outlets with breaking news, and we're not like Let's Talk Politics or the fella me and Mrs. Tron watches. The Iranian man who's who in England that does a news channel. I've sent you it, Philip. I sent you a link to him. He's very professional. We're like
Yeah.
the toe rags of the news agency. We're the litter. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, but there's only one subject to talk about, and that's happening in the Middle East. How are you, Philip? Have you been practicing your Donald Trump dance?
No,
We have given you a mission for you by the end of the year to perfect the Donald Trump dance.
Well, I could, by the end of the year, might just have done it. Yeah.
Hopefully. How are you, though?
Yeah, I'm okay. Just keeping an eye on all this that's been going on over the last few days, and it's. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. Now, I don't think it's not going to be a 5-day war anyway.
No, it's not. Yeah, I look a bit grey. It looks like I do look a bit grey, actually. So do you want to give people the latest, Philip, what is happening?
Well, yeah, there's a few things, not in any particular order, but there was an incident earlier on today, which was worrying if it had gone to its fruition, is that NATO destroyed an Iranian ballistic missile over Turkish airspace. And where it was heading for, we don't know. But the worrying thing there is Turkey is a member of NATO. And so if they were attacked, and they would be quite entitled to invoke Article 5, which means all other NATO countries would have to defend them. Now, Turkey have said they will not ask NATO to help under Article 5. But you have to wonder, another ballistic missile tomorrow, the next day, or whenever it gets through and lands on Turkish territory, that could be a serious escalation of the present situation. That needs to be kept an eye on. The CIA apparently are working to arm the Kurdish rebels. The Kurdish rebels who are very strong around the Iraq border. And they're also urging Iranian militia or military people in the army who are dissatisfied or maybe anti-regime in Iran to defect. Now, whether they want to defect to the Kurds or what, I don't know, but they want them to defect to weaken the Iranian army. And then the last part, and this is a bit of Irish news on this one, I'm actually still shaking my head at this. As you might be aware, there's 2 planes in the air at the minute. One on the way back from Dubai to Dublin, an Emirates plane, which will land about 11 o'clock tonight, with about 400 Irish people or people coming back from the war zone. And there's another plane that left Dublin today, a plane that's been here since Friday, unable to travel. It's left back to go back to Dubai, and I'm presuming it's empty. But the Irish government are arranging a charter flight for 280 people, which is going to fly over the next few days from Oman, the neighboring country to Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates. It takes 280 people are being charged €800 to come home. Now, let that sink in. We have thousands of Irish people stuck out in the Emirates. Our own government is charging them €800, a subsidized fare to bring them home. So in other words, they're saying, if you've got €800, we'll bring you home. If you haven't got, you can sit and wait until something else comes along. I'm sorry, but I just find that disgusting. Could the government not pick up the tab entire aircraft?
It is. I mean, look, I was watching Leaders' Questions yesterday, and look, the Mary Lou and Avena and Social Docs and the other left parties were hammering the government, saying you need to come out and condemn what is happening, condemn the attacks, the illegal war crimes on the illegal war that Donald Trump had started without getting, of course, approval from Congress and doing it the proper way, all through the UN either. And he wouldn't condemn. I understand why, because he's got to keep this relationship with America. And he is going over on St. Patrick's Day and make it nice because it benefits us. Because if they take the the pharmaceuticals out of the country, and all that, like Microsoft and Facebook or whatever, it's going to affect our economy here massively.
Yeah.
But do the left have a right, Philip, to get the Taoiseach to say, yes, I do condemn what is happening here?
Yeah. Again, you know, I can see I've a bit of sympathy for Micheál Martin here, because if you remember back yesterday, Dermot, at the press conference Trump was giving in the White House, sitting alongside the German Chancellor, when he said that Spain refused America permission to use their Air Force bases. And he said, that's it, we're not doing any more business with Spain, right? Micheál Martin probably thinks, well, if I come out and say I'm against the war or criticizing Donald Trump in any way, one, he'd probably lose the gig on Patrick's Day. And secondly, he might get a similar statement to the Spanish, well, I'm not going to deal with Ireland anymore.
Well,
the guy is so
on the
volatile.
Spanish, I can update you on the Spanish. There has been an update. Spain have now agreed to cooperate with the US military. 22 minutes ago, Spain has agreed to cooperate with the US military over the past few hours, says Caroline Levitt, tells reporters. Spain has refused to let the Americans to use Spanish base to launch their military operations against Iran, prompting the harsh threats from Donald Trump yesterday. Levitt says, I think they heard the president's message yesterday loud and clear. She added she knows the US military is with their counterparts in Spain, so they're making a deal. We have not heard heard confirmation from Spain, but
all right, that's the important word there. Caroline Levitt doesn't know how to tell the truth. She never has. To say they're awaiting confirmation, she probably says, "Oh yeah, they'll back down. They'll back down." So I'll wait and see. Have they? Yeah. I hope they don't, because someone needs to stand up and be counted there. You know.
And also he did criticize Keir Starmer, saying we're not dealing with Churchill. And I'd look. I know there's probably going to be a few UK people watching this podcast, Philip, and there's no love lost for the Labour government at the moment. You know that as well as I do. They're as hated as probably the Tories were. But he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. I mean, last night he was at something in Parliament for Ramadan and welcomed Muslims people, having a dinner, I think, in the Houses of Parliament. And as Prime Minister, you have to say a few words. And he's getting criticised for that from the likes of GB News and all these sort of left-wing...
Farage's TV station, isn't it? So
yeah, left-wing news organisations.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Donald Trump for me, right, is a controversial figure in a way, but I think for what he's doing in Iran, I don't think a lot of people have no sympathy for the Iranian government who they're trying to get rid of.
No, the people don't have a sympathy for Iran, no sympathy for Iran at all, but I have sympathy for the Iranian people that are affected by what's going on there. And that's the problem. They could have gone in, taken out the regime and left it at that. But no, he's gone to himself and his buddy Netanyahu are going a full-scale war. And the two of them have got ulterior motives. Both of them are trying to stay in power, and both of them are trying to stay out of jail. Because really, that's what Netanyahu is trying to do, because he's on trial for corruption. Donald Trump, we know, has been, has got his problems there as well. So, it's a kind of wag the dog situation. Remember that film, Wag the Dog, where they created a false war to take the mind off things. This isn't a false war, and unfortunately, it looks like it's expanding.
It is. Now, look, it has expanded. Load of Middle Eastern countries have been hit. We know Saudi Arabia has been hit. Kuwait's been hit. Other countries have been hit. I mean, they have a right to also defend themselves. So they have a right to attack Iran back.
Yeah, that's right. And that's where the escalation comes in. When they all start taking pot shots at each other, So it's very hard to know where this is going to end. But one very interesting fact that came out today, I think it was on Sky earlier on there, is that because America, to me, don't have an exit policy here. They had no plan in place to get the American people out of the area, because they didn't expect such a retaliation from Iran. And secondly, rumor has it that they're running out of prime weapons, like defense rockets or whatever. These things that go up to knock down the missiles.
Yeah.
Because again, they weren't expecting such resistance. So when they run out, then things are going to get rather interesting, because Iran seems to have a no end of supply of ballistic missiles and stuff. And as they say, you haven't seen the best of it yet. So this.
And well, look, he did come out to say, didn't he? The man, what's his name? Is it Hegwitz?
Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, he's the head of the Department of War, saying you haven't seen nothing yet. It's going to get more intense. They're going to use 2,000 or 5,000 pound laser bombs next.
Yeah. So, that's it. What's the need for that? Why? What's the need for that? You've got rid of the 48 people in the leadership. Then the new guys are going to come along, and they're probably going to be twice as determined to revenge their family and their relatives. So, like, this is it. I mean, this thing is spiraling out of control now. If they start using buster bombs like that, I mean, those things can go straight through into bomb shelters. They will go straight through concrete into bomb shelters and kill innocent people. Probably.
It was said, wasn't it, last June when he did attack the nuclear sites, that he demolished them all.
Yeah.
He said,
yeah, absolutely. And then
look,
you can't rejig that whole program in 7 months. Physically impossible.
Well, then that means, Philip, then they didn't demolish them all.
No, they didn't.
They didn't do as much damage as they were making out to be.
I mean, it's just another half truth or untruth by the American administration, which is par for the course, unfortunately, because you really cannot believe what they're telling you. Pete Hegseth today is boasting that the Iranian destroyer that was sunk off Sri Lanka was the first ship sunk by a torpedo since World War II. Now, that might be a good thing for the Guinness Book of Records, but to me, it's childish coming out with stuff like that. And it's disrespectful to the people that died on the ship.
It is. It was sunk in international waters, which is even more worrying. That now they're going around into international waters and sinking ships. I mean, Philip, look, we know they've tried to go. I mean, Iran have got weapons to hit Turkey, which is worrying enough in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, we all thought Iran had, a few thousand ballistic missiles, probably a few thousand, cruise missiles, but not a lot. And apparently, according to Donald Trump, the Air Force is gone, the Navy's gone, they're running out of missiles. I don't think they are.
I don't think so. So interesting.
It brings me back to a broader question. Do you remember the Iraq War in 2003?
Yeah.
When the Americans and all went in on a lie, saying Saddam Hussein had loads of weapons of mass destruction. Okay, over the years, it was proven not to be the case. And just to give people sort of a flashback to it, it was all brought on because of September the 11th. That's when they did. So they went into Afghanistan, got the Taliban out of Afghanistan, and then that was fine until Donald Trump came back in and made a deal with the Taliban to take over the country again. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. But America had no exit plan for Iraq in 2003. America has no exit plan for Iran.
No,
so
I haven't.
They haven't learned the lessons from the last Middle Eastern war they got involved with.
This is a fly by the seat of your pants organization on this. Just as it happens, it happens. There's no forward thinking at all.
And also about boots on the ground. That will happen.
If that happens, that's going to be that. If that happens, then the American public will absolutely go ballistic. They've seen it happen too many times. Like some people are still suffering from Vietnam, and that's 50 years ago. The way the ignominious exit from Vietnam, the Gulf War, the Afghanistan thing. If it happens again, I mean, there's only 6. Well, by reports, there's only 6 American servicemen have been killed so far. Now there is reports going on that figure is being kept down. There is a lot more being killed, but they haven't announced them yet. Now whether that's true or not, I don't know. Well, 6 will appear to be very, very light for an engagement like this.
Well, apparently there's rumors going around. Iran have got some American pilots as well, because they ejected from the planes and they landed in Iran apparently over Jordan.
Possibly, yeah.
So we don't know if that's true, but there is no off ramp for Donald Trump here. because he knows he's been led by Israel. Israel is saying, right. And look, I'm no big fan of Israel because of what they've done to the Palestinian people and what they do to Gaza, right? I've got no fan of their leader, of their prime minister. I think he's a war criminal. He needs to be brought up for war crimes. And you, me, agree on that. And I think half the Irish people in this country agree with it. Probably 95% of the people agree that, he's a war crime. But think about it. And I hate using it as a narrative, Philip. I hate using it as probably trying to play devil's advocate here. Just think if it was Ireland and we're being bombed by America, we're being bombed by the UK, we're being bombed by Scotland, and we're a little country and we have to defend ourselves. Is there a little bit of that with Israel, that with all the wars they've had over the years, they had the 7-Day War back in the 70s, didn't they? They had the war against Syria and who was the other country? Syria and Egypt. Was it Egypt back in the 70s? Do you know the one I'm on about?
Yeah, the 1960s.
No, the one in the 70s. 1974.
As well. There was a 5-day war or 6-day war, a very quick war against Egypt.
Yeah, but wasn't there one in the 70s as well against Syria? They attacked Israel. They put the jump on Israel back in the 70s.
Right. Okay. Possibly. Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is, can you see it from their point of view? If you probably walk a mile in their shoes, that they're a little country, and they're not being made to feel welcome in the Middle East for whatever reason. Well, and they probably feel a bit bullied. I'm not saying they're right to do it. I'm not saying. Do you know? I'm just trying to look at it from the other side. Do you know what I'm doing? And
I know you're quite right. Now it goes back an awful lot further than that.
Of course,
you go back into biblical times. The Jews were chased out of their own country, and Moses led them across the Red Sea, parting of the waters. So that's what, 3,000 or 4,000 years ago. They have always been in conflict with their neighbors since then. And it's only in the recent times when the weapons got automated and what have you, that it's really come to another head. Now, don't forget, you've got to look back at the Holocaust as well, in the terrible thing that was inflicted on the Jewish population during World War II. That was probably one of the worst things that's happened to them over the last couple of thousand years. But whatever it is, they just can't seem to. It's like having a neighbor living next door to you just cannot get on with. You're always fighting about something. Whether it's leaves falling into his garden or something like that, they're never going to get on with their neighbors. Never.
No. And to be fair, look, I'm no fan of the government. I just want to put that out there. I'm not. I'm very much for the Palestinian people, but I just didn't want to be, or us to be on this channel to be one-sided. I wanted, like we've always been, Philip, fair. That we look at both sides. We've done it when we used to do the Tottenham channel together with Daniel Levy. We took the same sort of path, didn't we?
Yeah.
We sort of in the minutes. Look, I'm no fan of theirs, Philip, and you know that. And what they're doing to Gaza and the Palestinian people is shocking. And look, every country has a right to defend itself after October the 7th. Every country has that right. Iran has the right to defend itself after being attacked by America and Israel. But I just feel if Israel want people to feel sorry for them, they're going the wrong way about it. Because how many wars have they started? How many people have they killed? How much land have they grabbed over the years, over the last 50 years to take it off the Palestinian people, or they've taken it off other countries? Like it's, and then they have the knack to say, well, okay, we're going to bomb you, but how dare you retaliate against us? I'm sorry.
I'll tell you now.
If you bomb Wexford, right, Philip, I would have the right to bomb Leitrim.
Yeah.
And it'd be my right to it.
Yeah. Now, I have great sympathy. Now, I don't get me in the wrong. I don't have got great sympathy for Israel. I've been to Auschwitz, which was probably the center of the greatest crimes against humanity in living memory. Any other memory?
No, I agree.
And you've got to have sympathy for the Israeli people from that. But instead of milking that sympathy. They have gone to try and tear it away from people by acts such as the Gaza thing and things over the years, annexing land that wasn't theirs and whatever. Like for a country that claims to be hard done by, they've hard done other countries far worse, if you know what I'm coming from. So we should be having sympathy for Israel, but I'm afraid we can't, because they haven't. They're far too aggressive. They're far too Hawaii. Nobody can touch us. We are Israel, and it's Netanyahu is probably the worst person you could have in charge of them at this particular moment in time, because he is desperately clinging to power. He knows that if he lands in any one of a number of countries, he's going to be arrested and transferred to The Hague for war crimes. And he's now found a willing ally in Donald Trump, who, for what reason, and maybe there's compromise, maybe there's Netanyahu has got something on Donald Trump that Donald Trump doesn't want to be released. But it's like Netanyahu is like a puppet master with his hand up the back of Donald Trump, controlling what he does.
To be fair, yeah, I agree. But to be fair, I feel sorry for the Israeli people, by the way.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. They don't want to be. I'm sure that the Israeli people do not want to be in the situation they're in at the moment. Absolutely
no.
Not.
Can you imagine living in this? Can you imagine here in Ireland, and we have to go down to a bunker every other day, and you're probably living in that bunker for probably 24 hours, 12 hours down the bunker.
Yeah.
And it must be. Look, people. You feel sorry for the people, but you don't feel sorry for the leaders, the political leaders that run these countries. Because half of them are corrupt, half of them are out for their own agenda. And I mean, look, we're only a little country, and people seem to forget we had the famine over here. Yeah. And people forget that, and people forget why the famine happened and who caused it. But we don't use it as a poor us. We use it as a narrative which lit the flame for the rebellion.
Yeah. No, we did thing for a long time, though. Maybe some people still do. So it hasn't entirely gone away, but it's a lot less than it used to be.
It's still there. It's still there.
Still there.
It's still there. I mean, I must admit, I do when I watch the England football team, especially one person who should remain nameless, the treacherous little git.
But he's an ingredient in curry, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. I do you know what? I don't even eat that bit of the curry anymore. I have chips with it now. Seriously, I do. If I get a chicken curry or satay or something like that, I would have chips with it.
No rice. How's it give it away there? No, in case anyone doesn't realize who we're talking about. No rice.
But see, look, I don't want people to think we're attacking the people. We're not. We're attacking the leaders of the thing. Now, Donald Trump, Philip, you're no fan of his. We know that there's a lot going on. There's the Epstein files and whatever, and we will do a show on the Epstein files, guys. We will do that. Look, for me, there's a vote tonight. I don't know if there's any latest on that vote, Philip. Is there?
I wouldn't say it's taken place yet, because it's only 2:30 in the afternoon in Washington. I'll have a look and see. I don't think there is. Let's look up CNN here and see if there's anything coming in. I think Donald Trump will get his way there unless enough Republicans have a conscience and change their mind. I don't think they will.
Now, apparently, it's starting to come out now why he attacked Iran. What was behind it? We had a few news conferences the last few days. One of them, and yesterday it was said, I was watching Sky News, me and Mrs. Tron, and we were watching Sky Sport, and also be watching a lot of Al Jazeera as well, because I think Al Jazeera do give actually the proper news on this, Philip. And we do watch this fella on YouTube. I forget what his name is. I will find it for you guys, and I will put the link in the chat.
It's just a guy you sent earlier to me.
Yeah.
Team Trump 47.
No, not him. Not Team Trump.
No, it's actually Team Trump 47. That's I don't have the other one. No,
it's what's the name of it? I will Anyway, look, I find it and I put the link in the description for you guys. He's very, very good on what he comes out with. But the point is, they're not sticking to the same hymn sheet, are they? Because they
I'm
keep
just
coming out
reading
with
something here.
different. Trump comes out with something. You've got Rubio comes out with something else. You've got Hesketh comes out with something else.
Yeah.
None of them are sitting after sing hymn sheet here.
That's it. And there's something after coming out there now. I just see this went up on CNN a few minutes ago. Donald Trump insists he's willing to wage war in Iran forever, right? Now, last weekend it was 4 or 5 days. Now it's forever. And apparently this is causing chaos in the American administration because no one seems to know exactly where this is going. And it's, as you rightly say, nobody is singing from the same hymn sheet. And when you have 4 or 5 people singing different songs, all it turns into is a mess. And that's what it's going to turn into.
Now, just coming out now, it was said in the press conference by your famous press reporter, Philip, of the American Donald Trump's administration. You do Caroline Levitt. I know you're a big fan of hers, of her work.
Kate Lyon Levitt.
Yeah. Anyway, she was saying that Donald Trump received a phone call from, what's his name, Bibi or Bye or
Bibi Netanyahu.
Yeah, Bibi. That is his pet name for him, Bibi.
Probably
saying that he rung Donald Trump and said, look, Donald, we're all going to be in this area on Saturday morning having a meeting. Let's go for it. But she said she thinks the president, prior to that phone call, had a good feeling that the Iranian regime was going to strike the United States in the region. They're coming out and saying they were going to attack us, so we're going to get in there first.
It's the old adage. I thought he was going to hit me, so hit him back first.
I am sorry. Are we all stupid? Did they think we're thick or something?
They do, yeah, they do. They do. Some of the stuff coming out of the White House press corps there is laughable. And the journalists just sit there on their hands and don't challenge it. Now, back in Joe Biden's day, if Joe Biden sneezed during an event, they'd be up badgering with questions about it. Donald Trump can do what he likes and gets away with it because they're scared of asking questions.
Yeah. Also, there was Iran and America had an agreement done under Obama back in, I think it was,
2012,
which everyone was happy with. Right, everyone was happy with. They were saying the other day that Iran were near an atomic weapon, an atomic missile. Well, I thought you destroyed their.
Trump tore up that agreement.
Yeah.
And now he's trying to put it back in place again.
Yeah, well, they don't want to know.
No.
But, the Americans said, that we had hit them because they had a nuclear weapon. They know they had a nuclear weapon, but I thought you destroyed that last June. I thought you destroyed the whole lot. So, really, if they can make a nuclear weapon within 7 months, they're bloody geniuses.
Yeah, exactly. No, it looks. He was either lying. He did them. He destroyed it back in the summer of last year, or he's lying now. One of the two.
Also, do you think, Philip? And look, we know about martyrs, don't we? Just give people a bit of history here. When the rebel leaders of the Easter Rising were all assassinated, wrongly, by the way, by the British, back in 1916, they were all made martyrs.
Yeah,
for the Republican cause, which led then to the War of Independence, and then whatever. And we still celebrate it. We've got Easter coming up soon next month, Philip, or this month, I think Easter. I think it's Easter this month, and we will be celebrating, of course, the Easter Rising. We will be doing whatever we always do every year, and we will on this channel. We'll do a special podcast on the Easter Rising. Maybe Ronan can come on and talk to us about that and what it was around that time. But they've now killed the Iranian, the supreme leader. Instead of, they've made him a martyr, which what they're trying to do is, it's upraising the Iranian people, isn't it?
Well, yeah. To give a comparison,
it's having the opposite effect what they wanted to do.
Yeah, to compare with the 1916 situation here in Ireland, right? There was no support in Dublin at all for the Easter Rising. They were throwing rotten vegetables at the guys who had been led away from the GPO once that part of it was over, right? The biggest mistake the British government made was executing the leaders of the Rising. because as again, that made them martyrs, and that sowed the seed for what happened afterwards. If they'd just imprisoned them and whatever, we might still be under British rule. That's the long and the short of it. It was those executions that fired up the whole the independence thing to a great height. And it's the same now in Iran. People that might have been too sympathetic to the regime there now are saying, well, it's not, I don't care who it is, you can't come in here and kill our leaders. So it was a very, very dangerous act to do. Very dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, any news that's coming out, Philip? Any? I'm just trying to see if there's any.
Let's see if there's anything coming through on CNN here.
I do want to talk about the. I just want to change something on here, which I should have done.
Well, there's one thing here, one headline on CNN, which is interesting. It says Trump's advisors are working to mitigate a political nightmare on Iran as President Trump's is fueling a messaging chaos. Again, it's what we mentioned earlier. They're all coming out with different messages here. And until they get their act together, there's going to be chaos. U.S. submarine, we've done that one.
But where's the off ramp for Trump, for the Americans? And there isn't one really, but where do you see it going?
Really. There's not really an off ramp at all, because you've got the likes of Gavin Newsom, who is the potentially Democrat candidate for president next year, 2 years' time. He has come out. He's accusing Netanyahu of leading Trump into the war. He's blaming Netanyahu for leading Trump, and he's saying that the U.S. must reconsider future military aid to its longtime ally, because the longer America is associated with Israel, this is going to continue for as long as Trump is in office, anyway.
Yeah, it is an Israeli attack, isn't it? Because they're wanting to get Iran for a long time.
Yeah,
but it's not a case of we got rid of the leaders. Well, yeah, it's not a case we've gone in, we've got rid of the Supreme, we've got rid of most of the IRGC. Let's step back a little bit. Let's see if we can talk to the new people. I mean, there was talk yesterday about the princess, the last Iranian king's son, and he was asked, Donald Trump was asked, would you consider him? And he said, I don't know.
No, he said, no.
We see what's there.
He's not popular enough. That's the word he used. He's not popular enough.
Is it going to be another Venezuela where, he was praised in the new Venezuela? Oh, she's doing a great job, and we're doing all right now, and they're getting oil, and we're getting oil.
Well,
it looks like
it's like the Ayatollah Khomeini's son looks to be the favorite now to be the new supreme leader in Iran, and he's a hardliner. So literally, it's same old, same old. In Venezuela, instead of getting rid of the entire government, they let the deposed government president number 2 take over. There's no change there, and it'll be the same in Iran once the Ayatollah's son takes over. It will be no change whatsoever. It'll just be even more hardline, maybe.
So you got to keep bombing them until they've all gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Or send in a crack. Where's that going to land? Because you're going to bomb Iran more. Iran's going to keep bombing the Middle East. Has America and Israel doomed the Middle East for a never-ending war?
I'm sorry, say that again, Dermot. I didn't catch that.
Have the US and Israel doomed the Middle East for a never-ending war?
Well, the Middle East has been a conflict zone since the Middle Ages, when the Crusades were out there, off and on throughout the years. So it is a very volatile area. It's probably the most volatile area on Earth when you think about it. And the recent happenings, and they're going to do nothing to quieten it down. So I think we're in for the long haul. This war may finish up, but you can be sure there'll be another one along soon.
Do you see it being like the Iraq war?
Well, the Iraq war was over pretty quickly in the end, and I don't think it'll be as it's a different type of a war there, really. I mean, that's when America put boots on the ground and went in there, went in there to get rid of that regime. I'd be doubtful that Donald Trump will put boots on the ground this time. If he does, it'll be political suicide for him if he does that. because Americans do not like body bags, and that's what's going to happen if he puts the boots on the ground.
Now, there is a sideshow to this, what's happening in Iran. It is about the oil and the gas. A massive Qatari producer to shut all gas liquids down. You've got UK maritime body warns of 2 ships attacked today alone. Signs of stabilization after 100 billion hit to UK's benchmark stock index. A load of the world's economies and the stock markets have taken a massive nosedive. And we're getting into the point where fuel's going to go up, energy is going to go up.
Yeah, there's a huge thing on the radio here yesterday about the price of central heating oil, and I can actually empathize with that, because I whether I was anticipating this coming in, I ordered central heating oil last week, and got it delivered. Now, if I was to order that today, it would cost me almost 50% more. It's gone up from 480 euros to over 700 euros for the same thing within a week. And they are selling off stocks of oil that have been in place for a while. They didn't just buy it yesterday. So it's an awful lot of price gouging. And that's going on all over the world. And it's going to affect everybody. Inflation is going to rise. Costs of everything is going to go up. And
so just very quickly then on that, should our government then come out with a package to help the people that need helping, like we had the one-off payments and the
hauliers, the people that bring the food and everything around the country? As somebody said, very rightly said on TV tonight, if every packet of cornflakes or pair of shoes that you buy comes off the back of a lorry, and those lorries are now paying 20-25% more for their fuel, and yet they're on fixed term contracts. They can't increase the money they're getting in. Yeah. It's going to cause havoc. People are going to go to the wall.
No. Yeah, but the what I was trying to say was, should the government now bring in one-off payments, one-off energy?
They won't. They've appointed some commissioner to have a look at things, but it's like charging for the flight home from Oman. They won't do anything.
Yeah, but should they? I know they won't, but should they?
Yeah. Of course they should. Yeah,
because there was a massive protest.
Do things they should. Most time they do things they shouldn't. This time they should, but they won't.
There was a massive protest, wasn't there, up in Dublin with disabled people looking for a one-off payment to help with all this. And we know there is families struggling out there. We know people are struggling, and the government are quite happy saying, well, you get your fuel allowance, that will help you. But there's people there can't afford to put on the heating at night, or do they, okay, well, I'm not going to have any dinner. My children can have what I have to eat. I'm going to not eat.
Yeah.
And surely the government should be doing something.
Yeah, they should. I heard a fellow talking yesterday. He said when he went to buy oil, he wasn't able to they wouldn't sell it to him because there's too many people ahead of you, and we might not be able to get it at the same price. He went into Dunnes Stores and he bought 2 thermal vests. That will do me instead of my central heating, he says. That shouldn't be happening.
We're living in 2026, but the country seems to be going back to the 1930s or 40s.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah.
In a way.
In a way, in some ways.
Who do you blame for that?
Donald Trump? No, I'm just saying it goes back. Whoever orchestrated this attack on Iran, it's been a snowball effect since that. It all goes back to the oil blockade is going to be the major contributor to inflation.
I tell you something now. I just got a stat up next to me. Tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has gone down by 90%.
Yeah,
over the last few days.
I'm sure.
I just look. It's easy to blame the government. It is easy to blame the government. I think it's easy for it's the Taoiseach's fault, or it's the Simon Harris's fault, or whatever. Hello, why have you said? There you go. Don't know what happened there. Hello. Anyway, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
I mean, I've just got a live. Yeah, I got a live picture of it now. So, let me see. Can I bring this in for the people? I'm sure I don't know if I'm allowed to show it or not, but damn it, we will. This is on X, so let me see if this works now. Right. This is, why is it not coming up? Okay. This is now, Philip, from the 27th of February to the 3rd of March. All the red lines, all the tankers.
Yeah.
That is quite a lot, isn't it?
Oh, it's hundreds of them. Yeah, hundreds of them.
Hello?
So it's not so red on the current
and
version.
that's from the 3rd of March. 27th of, that's from 20.
Well, there's very few red dots now anyway. They're all waiting on the side. They're all waiting on the side.
So that was quite a lot. Yeah, very few. Yeah. Should our government do more now? Should they come out? Should there be an emergency sort of help for the people that can't afford it?
Yeah,
the rich can afford it, so let the rich take care of themselves because they have the money.
They won't. It'll be like they'll have to go through, talk about it interminably in the Dáil, take a vote on it, pass it into law. By the time that's all done, the war could be over. You know, there'll be nothing. I'm afraid that there'll be nothing done. There'll be nothing done.
They were quick enough. They were quick enough to get payments out.
Oh yeah, of course
they were quick enough to get payments during the pandemic.
Yeah, but I mean that's. See, they knew then that was going to be a long-term thing. That was going to go on for, several months. They knew that at the time from the experts. We don't know how long this is going to last. And they're not going to go put their hand in their pocket for something that could be over next week. No,
I don't think it's going to be over next week.
Unfortunately, but there are people that do need help, certainly, but I can't see them ever getting any help from the government.
No. Well, look, Philip, we'll leave it there. Look, when we're back on again, Friday? Do you think we're back on with enough?
Yeah, Friday, I'd say, yeah. Unless something happens weekend.
Yeah, I can see this going on for a while. I will finish on this. They did get the fella that tried to have Donald Trump assassinated, and the word out from the fella that was reading out saying it. He said President Trump's had the last laugh. So I suppose he has got back the people that tried to kill him, I suppose, in a way. Philip, anything else you want to say before we end? Anything else you think?
That's this. I think that's it for tonight. We'll see how it goes over the next couple of days.
Well, look, guys, we will keep you updated. Of course, anything majorly breaks, we'll be back on straight away. And we will keep it going. But guys, do like and subscribe. Let's grow this channel. We do want to become a very serious political channel as well. But Philip, thank you very much for coming on. And guys, that is it. Day 5 of the, I don't know what you would call it, the Middle Eastern War or the US-Iran War, or
the Middle Eastern emergency.
A three-way war.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, anything else we're bringing up to you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Good night.